of people had a 3-day weekend this weekend. Yesterday, the Monday after the Super Bowl, they say is the least attended workday of the year. More Americans than ever this year. An estimated 23 million said they took the day off yesterday. 1 in 8 American workers and every single person in Philadelphia took the day off yesterday. Remember when Trump said he would make the day after the Super Bowl a national holiday? When is that executive order coming down the pike? Let's whip out that fat little presidential Sharpie and deliver on... Might be the only good thing you ever do. Do it. Even though it wasn't much of a game, this was the highest-rated Super Bowl of all time. Nearly 128 million people tuned in. Tubi scored a record 13.6 million viewers for the game, which beat their previous record by 13.6 million viewers. The halftime show was the highest-rated of all time as well, which makes sense. Younger viewers were very excited about Kendrick Lamar, whereas some from an older, perhaps whiter demographic were not.
I'm trying to hear one word that makes sense.
What's he trying to say?
So why didn't be uplifted? I'd even settle for a little entertainment.
Someone's been going to senior hip-hop dance class, I think. I believe that's called progress right there. Here in L.A. last night, the Lakers gave out 19,000 number 77 T-shirts to celebrate the arrival of Luka Dončić. You could see the chemistry between Luka and LeBron right off the bat. Luka got a huge L.A. welcome in front of a sold-out crowd. It was a big night, not only from an NBA trade standpoint. It was also the first time a Slovenian arrived in L.A. without getting to first base with our governor. So... There were a lot of celebrities in the house last night. Adele was in the front row screaming in perfect pitch. The Laker girls even broke out the Chihuahua cannons and fired little dogs into the crowd. It had to be weird for Luka Dončić after all those years in Dallas. Suddenly, you're playing for LA. It's like if somebody, Guillermo, it's like somebody put a bag over your head, pushed you into a van, and you woke up working for the Drew Barrymore show.
Yeah, it would be crazy.
Before the game, LeBron told Luka, "Don't fit in, fit the F out," which is confusing advice for a guy for whom English is not his first language, and also who got traded because he couldn't fit in his uniform. Nobody knows why the Mavericks made this trade. One of the storylines is that it was because of his weight. The Mavericks had concern about his conditioning, whereas the fans in Dallas do not.
Bring him back! He's not back! Bring him back! He's not back! Bring him back! He's not back!
Thank you, I guess. I don't know. Imagine turning on the TV, seeing a bunch of people chanting, "He's not fat." The first thing you think is, I must be fat, I guess. But don't worry, this is LA. We do not allow fat here. We will get some Ozempic into your Gatorade. You will fit in. Look what we did to John Goodman. We can do that to you. It was a busy day for Donald Trump today. He was on TV from morning until night. It's like the Jerry Lewis telethon with this guy. All day, reporters in there, he's taking questions, he's having meetings, he's tackling all the most important stuff. He did the same thing yesterday, all day. He canceled the penny, he changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and he finally got tough on paper straws.
This is an executive order relating to the use of paper straws. As you've consistently identified, nobody really likes paper straws.
#1 trending. Can you believe it? A paper straw was #1 trending for 3 days or something.
The environmental impact of plastic straws versus paper straws is entirely unclear. This has cost both the government and private industry an absolute ton of money and left consumers all over the country wildly dissatisfied with their straws.
I like that nerd who has to stand next to him and pretend these are like serious things. He has to walk in and go, "For too many years, seat belts have been beeping until you buckle up, and then this executive order will free us from their tyranny. Here you go, sign right here." That guy's name is Will Scharf, and thanks to him and our president, we can finally rekindle our long love affair with plastic straws.
We're going back to plastic straws. These things don't work. I've had them many times, and on occasion they break, they explode. If something's hot, they don't last very long, like a matter of minutes, sometimes a matter of seconds. It's a ridiculous situation.
Wait a minute, I'm with him on it not lasting very long, but they explode? His straws are exploding? How hard is he sucking? Of course, the reason we switched to those admittedly terrible paper straws in the first place is because plastic straws wind up in the ocean and they kill marine life, which I guess is another argument Trump, a well-known hater of sharks, doesn't buy.
I don't think that plastic's going to affect a shark very much as they're munching their way through the ocean. Okay.
Like Pac-Man, they're just munching their way through the ocean. That degree in marine biology is really coming in handy. Listen, the fact of the matter is Trump loves plastic. Most of his wives are made of plastic. We're going to have a lot of plastic in our future. Speaking of sucking, Elon Musk was at Trump's side today. Elon took questions from the Oval Office with his son. He brought his son, R2 Musk, who is 4 years old, and as you can see, Trump was super excited to have the kid there.
What is the goal of Doge, and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy?
So much warmth, you know, it's like a grandfather. And look at Trump's orange, angry face next to sheet white Elon Musk. It's like a Q-tip next to a traffic cone. So then, the kid's, you know, he's being a kid, and he starts picking his nose.
Between now and next year, there is no inflation. There's no inflation in 26. No, but the government is not borrowing as much. It means that interest costs.
Well, I hope you find some government waste in there. Don't get it on the Diet Coke button. Trump also answered questions about Canada. You know, this thing with Canada, it kind of seemed like it was a joke, the idea of making Canada a state, but it's getting weirder, and he's continuing to dig in on this.
I love Canada. I have so many friends in Canada, you can't count them. Wayne Gretzky, I love Wayne Gretzky. I love so many people. I love their tradition. I love their ice hockey. Any other Canadian stereotypes you want to mention? I love their syrup. I love their moose. I love the Zambonis. U.S. foreign relations right now are completely insane. He wants to turn Gaza into some Trump-themed planned living community. There's a movement in the House of Representatives right now to change the name of Greenland to Red, White, and Blueland. That is not a joke. A congressman from Georgia wants to do that. All the disarray leaves a lot for our new Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, to clean up, even though Marco Rubio has trouble doing what seem to be very simple things like, for instance, shaking hands. The Egyptian foreign minister. Let's see that close up again. Here's, oh, yeah, no, yeah, there. All right, yeah, give me some skin, my brother. They call that the old Rubio reach around, and he is beautiful. They're all cartoon characters. He's the most normal one. Trump had an interview with Fox News on Sunday before the Super Bowl. They saved part 2 of the interview for last night. Bret Baier asked Trump what is a pretty simple question, a layup, regarding his running mate, JD Vance.
Do you view Vice President JD Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that it, you know, I think you have a lot of very capable people.
That is colder than Melania's side of the bed. That is, he could have at least pretended to think about it for a minute. The only job the vice president has is to be the president's successor. But Trump is definitely thinking about a 3rd term. He might even be thinking about a 4th term right now. J.D. Vance has been far away in Paris for the past couple of days. He's speaking at an international AI summit. I have not seen much coverage of this because Trump occupies every minute of every day. So I thought it might be interesting to check in and see how it's going with the Vice President of the United States, Mr. J.D. Vance. Mr. Vice President, can you hear me? Hello? JD?
One second. I'm just getting a big old drink of this Evian they got on tap here.
Yes, I think it's called Evian, and I believe that's actually a bidet you're drinking out of.
Well, whatever it is, it sure hits the spot. Okay. Look at me. I'm like one of those poodles the Haitians were eating in Ohio.
Okay. Hey, are you enjoying your time in Paris?
Heck no, I am not. I ate what I thought was a booger yesterday. It turned out to be a snail. Yuck!
Okay, well, I don't... anyway, what is it that you are doing in France?
I am in France to find that place where the naked ladies dance and shut it down.
Okay, and how's that going so far?
Lord Jesus hath not prepared me for the moral depravity over here. I have personally confiscated dozens of dildos from the bicycle baskets of these hairy-pitted perverts. I mean, look.
No, those are...
They call them baguettes.
No, they don't. I think that's just a loaf of bread you're holding.
Oh, well, you won't want to eat one after what I've done with it.
Okay, now, are you meeting with people, with officials, and no?
No, sirree.
Oh.
This place is teeming with foreigners, and Daddy Donald says that is a no-no.
Oh, speaking of Daddy Donald, did you hear what Trump said about you being his successor?
No. What did he say?
He said he doesn't see you as his successor.
No, he didn't.
He did. He said it was too soon to know. Oh.
It's fine. I'm sure he's right. He's always right.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Are you at least seeing the sights in Paris?
I went to a museum known as the Louvre.
No, it's the Louvre. The Louvre.
Whatever these Frenchies call it, I was rudely kicked out for acting inappropriate. Why did they even call it French kissing if you can't sex lick the Mona Lisa?
You know what? It's a really good question, actually. Well, maybe you'll have better luck in Germany. I know you're headed there next. I will be curious to know what the German press thinks about you once referring to Trump as America's Hitler.
And why, pray tell, are you curious about that?
Well, obviously they're ashamed of Adolf Hitler, and so since you said that.
Germany had a Hitler too? Wild.
Yeah, they did.
Sorry, 1 second. Come in. Entree, Boosted, Murky, Bouquet, Monsoon. Bonjour, monsieur. Jimmy, this is how these animals talk. I mean, listen to it. I hate it. I hate the way these French words feel in my ears.
Well, it's their language. It's ridiculous.
Falcone, when you get a minute, bring me a fresh one of those penis breads.
Chop, chop. From a baguette. Hey, so what are you going to do tonight? What's the plan?
Have you ever heard of a chaise lounge?
Yes, of course I have. Yeah.
Well, I found one. And tonight, I'm going to it. Don't tell Lucia.
Okay, well, all right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President, for your time. We really appreciate it.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Oh, my God, I can't believe it. We have 20 million subscribers on YouTube.
Unbelievable.
I only wish we got paid for this. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Help us get to 50 million, please. It's an emergency.